I don't know why. Because you got out of the building. You didn't get the water. Awesome.
Look, the statue saying hi. Hi, look at the
3 through 6 on the left-hand side. So it's 2 to a seat, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 1 person in row 2, unless you want one of the children. It'll be on this one.
But trust me, she's there. Otherwise, we wouldn't be moving. Okay, I know we're not moving. But hold on, we'll be moving soon. Wait, see? Okay, so this wouldn't be happening if Peggy weren't there. Now, during the course of the tour, do not talk to Peggy. It says it right there. Also, don't stand up. Don't lean out the window. No smoking. Monument. That's in Charlestown, Olga Iron. Olga. We're on Olga. Woo! The USS Constitution is near there. Oh, hey, boy, I better do it fast because Bob might be out there. We're on a floating truck, which is officially known as a DUKW, but that's pronounced duck. The W is silent except after C or when sounding like A. So people might quack at us. Hang on, I'm looking for my friend Bob. Oh, good, Bob's not here. We have time. All right. Black American to get elected to the United States Senate. We have a lot of firsts. I call them first because I'm very excited. This Old North Church, that's our oldest church, and that neighborhood is the North End. And that's where Paul lived. Also, in the North, shaman. In English, according to my research, shaman means, let's go Sox! I don't know if that's true. On our left, there are 6 glass towers that make up the New England Holocaust Memorial. Each is etched with 1 million numbers in memory of the Jewish victims of the Nazi Holocaust. Beyond the Holocaust Memorial is the Blackstone Block. That's the oldest block of buildings in the city. We are very close to Faneuil Hall Marketplace. You can see Faneuil Hall ahead to our left. That's the brick building with the white trim. It was given to the city as a gift in 1742. It's been a marketplace and meeting hall since way back then. And beyond that, quickly, I'll get back to this. I want you to see this statue on our left. There's Sam Adams' statue right in front of Faneuil Hall, where he held many meetings. So England never taxed us because we couldn't have representation in Parliament. We created our own taxes and our own laws in our colonial legislature, which meant in a brick building we're approaching on the right. The light just turned. I'm not sure you're going to get to. Can you? I'll wait. We'll see it better when we move up a little. But then England had a long war with France. So for the very first time ever, they began taxing the colonies from Holland. Our 2 British soldiers still here since September of 1768. They didn't make it out with the other guys in March of 1770. Better just to accept it. Make your plans accordingly. Wherever you're going to go, add time to get lost. So landmarks are useful. And up here on the right, the man that led that group of Puritans from England to settle, create Boston, really. He's buried in this graveyard on our left. The Kings are filming, you know. Quack! Cut! I don't think there was a lot of quacking in the... When did Little Women? Oh, pre-Civil War, during the Civil War. Anybody read Little Women? Was it Civil War or pre-Civil War? Do you know? Wasn't that riveting a book? Huh? I haven't read it yet. Now, all right, we're on Charles Street. This was part of the Charles River originally. So Boston ended on our right. Everything from here to the left was all water as far as you could see. This park on our left, you can see in between the trucks, is the Public Garden. It is America's oldest public botanical garden. In the Public Garden, there are 6 jack, quack, 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 quack. for a walk through the streets of Boston, which would be a horror story. But Boston police, who were the first police department in the United States, stopped traffic at the intersection in front of us. Look to our left, low to the ground. There are the statues of Mrs. Mallard and that book won the Caldecott Medal for Children's Literature. We're going to turn on Beacon Street. And we're going to go by Cheers. And they created the land that is the public garden. And remember the county courthouse? Ruined, it's buried, but it stretches for 2 miles. The river basin's behind us. The Hab is over there. The Havoc and Ride statue of George Washington. They're doing some restoration on the Church of the Covenant on the next corner over to the right. Every one of their stained glass. Totally cool about that whole revolution thing. Seem to forgive us for what we did to their language. So we're going to check out a part of town now, a part of the Back Bay called Copley Square. There was a portrait artist in the 1700s, John. We're going to go by this building later. Have any of you seen the TV show Boston? No. It's where Denny Crane had his law firm. You'll see it from the side when we go by later. This is Trinity Church on our right. So the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. This was the Tipton Hotel. Oh, there's something going on. Havens is the Boston Public Library, which is one of them by John Singer Sargent. There's a courtyard. You can sit under the sky by a fountain and you awesome building. That's on the left. On the right, you see the front of Trinity Church. And ahead to our left is the Old South Church. Old South congregation has been around since 1669. Rich and Hardware. It's over here on our left. The Arlington Street Church. Move soon to go to their winter home. I don't know where that is. But from April through sometime in October, 2 swans live in the public garden over here on our left. Romeo and Juliet. And I saw them last week, but I haven't seen them today. They might be gone. Well, we were getting along very well with our government in England until the taxation without representation began in 1764. And eventually, in September of 1768, 4,000 British troops were sent to occupy Boston. We were a town of 16,000. Tea. It was 46 tons of tea. That's enough to make 18.5 million cups of tea. This was in the early 1800s. There was a low supply and a high demand, so the land was very expensive. The nickname of that end of Charles Street is Antique Road. 1809 and a residential tower from 2016. On the left is the Massachusetts State House, much closer now. The architect that designed this building, he was 24 years old and he taught himself architecture. Child-born professional architect. There's a Dunkin' Donuts, the only Dunkin' Donuts in the city of Boston. On her left is a statue of Mary Dyer. Mary was a Quaker. Puritans would not tolerate other religions. Mary was kicked out of Boston for daring to practice her religion. 1660, I was just seeing who was listening. Once I said 1960 and someone said, I remember that, it was in the news. That is the Firefighters Memorial on her left. Boston had the first professional fire department in the United States. This is where the abolitionists moved. And it was there when I looked it up. But for all I know, Biggie wrote it. On her left is the Old West Church, built in 1806. One of our oldest churches, Old North being the very oldest. And we're not going to see many more old buildings because this section of Boston was torn down in the 50s and then rebuilt in the 60s. This is the West End, the neighborhood of immigrants. Folks mostly from Europe came here in the 30s, tore it down and modern buildings replaced it. Folks who lived here were heartbroken because they thought the West End was... You may have heard of grew up in the West End. He has passed away, but I think firefighters have those. That's my nephew, he's a firefighter. He'd probably get in trouble for something. Alright, we're back on man-made land. Turkish water, they kept spreading out, and that's what filled the back bay. And then it was all mud flats at low tide. After we filled in the back bay, the river basin was still tidal. And it's kind of cool. Oh, you won't see it yet. Alright, well, I'll tell you later. So we're going to drive over the... Looks like a hall of mirrors, doesn't it? Woo! It's the Leechmere Viaduct. And you'll see now, on our left or our right, the Charles River just flows right through this. It's a bridge. On our left, there's a model of my 4th grade teacher, Sister Frances Anita. Right outside the museum sign. And I are unconscious. Now at that point, probably you should start talking to Peggy, maybe try to revive her. 16 emergency channel. There is no smoking allowed on board. I keep a fire extinguisher right here, and I will put you out if you start smoking.
Okay, we're coming up to your next station.
We have never had to abandon ship, but you know what the man said when his horse dropped dead. He never did that before. So all around us are emergency exits. These curtains push right open. Don't do it. They're only attached with Velcro. I'll tell you if you have to abandon ship. Skate Park. Here you see young urban dwellers at play in their native environment. Listen, you may hear their call. Dude. And on our left is a piece of modern art called Little Pink Flags. Oh, here's our chance to quack. This is exciting. Okay, over on our left, these people will expect a quack. Share the mantra, ready on? Quack!
Christine, James and Christine, this is Sector Boston, Shell 16, over.
Alright. So we're gonna wait for 2 ducks to go in. We'll be the 3rd one in. One, we can go to the bottom and then go in. But don't hit them. Remember that last time? Oh, that wasn't you? You guys want to do this, right? So this boat on our left just came from Boston Harbor. Entered the locks, one of the locks. They're not going to fit under the next bridge, and they're going to try to do it anyway. It's going to get really exciting. No, it's a drawbridge. It isn't opening yet. Drawbridge is what we went over before. We're going to go under it. It's kind of cool, huh? Over and under the same bridge in the same vehicle. Don't try that. So this is the very end of the river. River flowed into it. Then this dam was built. This was fresh. I mean, it's all now it's fresh. So we'll go into the old channel. I mean, the old lock. It is the channel. And check out the lower basin. We entered the river where it ends. goes through 23 different towns. All those towns are in metropolitan Boston. Many people have access to the Chalice River. It's one of the most used recreational rivers in the world. As we move up a little bit, on our left you see one of the old gates. When this was a lock, that was almost always closed. It would open and let boats in or out. What's your name? Frim, nice to meet you. Where are you from? From where? Oh, nice. There's a path on the Esplanade. That path connects to other paths and other parks and other towns. And there's a 30-mile circuit paths without any cars. Keep doing what you're doing. This is good. Anyone else want to turn? You and you? All right, why don't you come up? Yeah, come on. You get stickers, sir. You drove a duck. That was good. Thanks for not hitting it. No way. Did you know he was here today? Oh, you came here. Oh, that's not as interesting. Okay. Now Bandor. And the bridge you see ahead of us with the 4 towers, that's the Longfellow Bridge. It's a little over 100 years old. They're almost finished completely restoring it. Who else wanted a turn? You and you. You, come on up. You didn't say anything earlier. It's all right, you can set it down. These are for you. Want to drive, yes, have a seat. How old are you? You don't want to tell me that either. I'll talk to you. How you doing, Peggy? Tewksbury? Yeah, how old are you? You won't answer me either. 29's a nice age. Let's stick to 24 my whole life if I could. Now, as we get closer to the bridge, you'll be able to see 4 towers. They look like... Have a seat. Are you amused? I said Boston's old and your culture goes back thousands of years. That's weird. On our left, you guys get a nice view of Beacon Hill. It's very flat on top. It's really a plateau. And that gold dome is on our State House. So imagine 3 hills there, 60 feet. Roughly 18 meters taller than what's there now. Get a nice view when we get out from under the bridge.
Hey, there's a woman taking your picture. You should introduce yourself later. I think she likes you.
So you see the back bay ahead of us. It's all man-made land. And there are a lot of buildings on our right. Just so you're looking the right way. See the building on our right that has a white ball on top? That building is on the MIT campus. It's in Cambridge. It was the first college in the United States. I'll show you guys Fenway. you look to your right, there's a red triangle. And if you draw an imaginary line from the top of the flag diagonally down to the left, over where the Sox got Houston tonight. Hopefully with a better outcome. Two great teams, only one can win. What's your name? Fred, nice to meet you. Where are you from? Right in front of us. Sure, yeah. Right in front of us is where the British Army crossed on the night of Paul Revere's Midnight Ride. It got to the point by April of 1775, some towns were stockpiling cannons and gunpowder, and every town around Boston pretty much had militia practicing ready to take up arms on a minute's notice. We had a military governor, General Thomas Gage. General Gage learned that 15 in the town of Concord, there was a pretty good supply of cannons. So the general wanted the arms to be seized, and he sent hundreds of soldiers to Concord one night, April 18, 1775. To try to slip out quietly so the alarm wouldn't be raised, the British soldiers crossed here. They could have marched out of town, they did not. They landed up ahead. Good job. Thanks for doing that. Kate loves what she does. She wants to do. Whoever gets there first, Don't crowd. What's your name? Fred. Where are you from? You know, Margaret Gage. You ever heard of her? She was from New Jersey. Her husband was General Gage, the military governor. And Margaret disagreed with her husband about the rights of the colonies. So when her husband made the plans to send the troops to Concord, Margaret Gage betrayed him. Told one of the rebel leaders to take the rebel position. Even Paul himself was one of the riders. Of course, the most famous. You ready, sir? All right, I'm going to give this gentleman a turn. These are for you. You're welcome. She told you to go. Good job, Peg. Good communicating. What's your name? 90 minus per hour. Friend in the United States. Swivel the water. I'm trying to show you where they're thinking. Give everyone a round of applause that drove. Well done. I'll tell you what happened at the end of Revere's ride. The rebel militia were alerted. The British Army. You would? I would. I wish the guy that named this river had a more interesting name. I don't blame him. I mean, I wouldn't be able to resist that either. Charles was a 10-year-old kid. His dad was the King of England in the early 1600s, King James I. They were looking at a map of this area. That name is taken, though. So you gotta pick a new name for if you discover a new... Oh, I've got one for you if you want to know, all right? Now, it's up to you. Yankee syndrome. Even if we lose to Houston, it's been a good year. It's a neat building on our left with that Pablo Picasso atrium. Well, education first. They offer educational tours. They have we could radio the bridge tender. And this drawbridge on our right would open. We saw that white boat that suddenly disappeared. Then it come from this way. Then you go under the Zachin Bridge. And then one by land, two by river. So it turned out to be two. It's enjoying the skate park. There's more bicycles than I normally see. I don't see any skateboarders. Oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. We don't get to incorporate Cambridge into the tour because there's too much to show you. Maybe The original name for Harvard, which was, you know, the college in Newtown, the original name was the College in Newtown.
Remember that time we went on the river? That was cool, man.
Give Peggy a round of applause. We'll all go to her restaurant later.